Microsoft has recently made it official that the Activision Blizzard acquisition has gone through, something that cost $69 billion to make, which is just mind-blowing in itself. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps a lot. Subscribing is free and it helps. And if you want to help a little further, watch another video. You know, it doesn't hurt. So what does this mean for Microsoft going further now that they have like some of the most iconic IPs out there, like Call of Duty, Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft? A lot of these games give them so much room to do a lot in the gaming industry and gives them a lot of what Sony wants at the moment, which is GaaS. GaaS stands for Games as a Service. Not only is this good for them financially, but it gives them a lot of stuff to play with. There's a lot of IPs that can be revived, like Spyro and Crash, and there's a lot of things that they can do with the IPs that are already there, like Call of Duty. You can get one of the Call of Duty people to make a Halo game, which, to be honest with you, I would love. Not to mention, keep in mind that Microsoft also made an acquisition of Bethesda Games, and they have all the Skyrim games now. Game Pass is going to be such a deal in the coming years because they're going to have so much content to put on there. It honestly puts pressure on Sony and PlayStation to make some kind of acquisition of their own, because I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation's already working on an acquisition that we'll hear in the years to come. Keep in mind that these acquisitions happen years in advance and take forever to go through. And if you ever see somebody on the internet saying that they know somebody's going to get acquired, just understand that a lot of the people that are saying this are complete liars, 100% liars, because if anybody talks about those acquisitions, they can get in a lot of trouble. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing for gaming as a whole? I would say nothing is ever black or white when it comes to these acquisitions, because of the fact that yes, it is bad for the industry because it further consolidates the gaming market to where it's like 3 companies that own all this stuff, essentially. But at the same time, I would have rather it been somebody like Xbox to own all these IPs instead of somebody like Embracer Games or these other giant mega Chinese corporations that are just buying everything right now. If you want to know how big Embracer Corporation is, just look up how many games that they have under them and you'll be like, wait, what? They own that game? But it's good at the same time because I don't want it to be one of them. You know what I mean? Like it's good because Microsoft is a lot better than Embracer or some other foreign company that I am biased, and I'm American and I want it to stay in America because of the fact that I believe in the developers that are here. Not to mention it is an American corporation, so it would be great. Not to mention, it's going to help a lot of things like Game Pass. Game Pass is going to be kind of a steal if it stays at the price that it is currently, because it's going to have all of the Bethesda games and all of the Activision and Blizzard games coming day one to your service. Is going to be an insane deal that I don't think anybody can pass up, and to be honest with you, I might get the service myself to just play around with. Let's hope that the price doesn't go up the way Netflix does every other year. Right now, Xbox is at a point to where it's like both PlayStation Premium and Xbox are kind of at a price point to where you can get it and you can justify it if you play a lot of games, but if you don't, it doesn't make sense. It only makes sense for you to save your money and just buy whatever game you want individually. But what this also means for Microsoft as a whole is I don't think they plan to stay in the console market for very long. I think that they'll stay in the console market for another 6 to 7 years, conventionally speaking, and then they'll either have an Xbox that is all digital only, or they'll have an online only Xbox that has some kind of hardware in there that reduces latency of some sort. And everything else will be on PC or on other platforms if those platforms accept to be on their platforms. I think the end goal for Microsoft is to have Game Pass on Nintendo Switches and on PlayStations at one point or another, because at the end of the day, that is money in your pocket. And that's not coming from some kind of fanboy like, oh, Microsoft's leaving the console market. No, that's coming from a perspective that corporations love money, and Microsoft isn't really able to compete console hardware wise at the moment. Every single time they try to compete with PlayStation hardware, they get owned and they make mistakes. Keep in mind that I don't even think that Microsoft is going to be the leader when it comes to cloud-based gaming. Right now, PlayStation has the lead in complete subscription people, and right now, PlayStation is the first service that has 4K cloud streaming, which is kind of insane. You would think that that would be Microsoft with all the servers that they have. I do hope that companies don't make this a habit to continue buying up publishers in order to compete in the industry. Granted, PlayStation had a huge stranglehold on the gaming industry, so a lot of fanboys who were saying like that this would hurt PlayStation in the long run and maybe potentially run them out of the gaming industry is silly. PlayStation has so much brand recognition at the moment that they can pretty much do whatever they want, even have a CEO, which they did with Jim Ryan for the past 3 to 4 years, and they survived that. So I really hope that it doesn't come down to these two publishers just buying up everybody, where PlayStation buys all the Japanese developers and Microsoft buys all the American and some foreign developers as well. I hope that a lot of these companies, after they're done with their spree, which I think Microsoft is done buying publishers for right now because they don't really need any more, and I think that would be a red flag for all the countries in the world that have regulators that, yeah, Microsoft is going for a monopoly and they need to be regulated. But I think they're done. I think PlayStation will make maybe 1 or 2 more big purchases and they'll be done. And I really do hope that PlayStation and Microsoft go back to making their own developers and kind of like growing what they have already and having the best talent in the world. And I really hope that Microsoft's acquisition puts them to a point to where they can put out Game of the Year contenders every single year like the way PlayStation and Nintendo do, because the competition is sorely needed. With the videos that I've been showing you of how PlayStation has been acting lately, especially with its pricing, and Nintendo as well when it comes to its pricing of its games and its store, the competition is needed, and the more competition there is for PlayStation and Nintendo, the better it is for everybody, and that's coming from a PlayStation fanboy. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, you guys are pretty good. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you think, you know? Yeah, I don't know why, but I was having trouble recording today. Like, I feel a lot better, but I was watching the Astros absolutely take the Texas Rangers soul a little while ago, and I'm still recovering. I'm in shock as an Astros fan of, like, the Shang Tzu that they did on the Rangers right now, to where they're like, your soul now belongs to me. You see that soul, that thing you have in your heart? Yeah, that belongs to me now. So I'm sorry this took so long to come out. I hope you guys are having a great day. Yeah, this has been an after show. Make sure you comment in the comment section, please. It helps a lot. And watch another video. Thank you.